Man, I still miss my best friend. Yeah. So, as I've said probably a million times, here and there and everywhere. Before 2016, my life was so good. I mean, not the whole time. The 2014 to 2015, my life was going great. And successful. Took care of my kids. Didn't really need help from nobody. The way I prefer. Could do it my way. Um, yeah, but 2015, I went to Kroger, got my groceries and my receipt. Normally, I didn't look at it. That day, Spirit told me, look at your receipt, look at the numbers. So I did. And they were 3113. I immediately heard mirror effect, reset. Yeah, and looked those numbers up. So I did. When I got home, I looked them up, and I immediately found out that they're associated with the Fibonacci sequence. I also found out they're associated with the Mayan calendar, and the Tool song Lateralis that came up in my search. Which, if you read the lyrics to the song, you might also agree that what happened to me afterwards, it's like that song was prophecy. The song was prophecy. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't even really know what the lyrics were. I was just like, okay, it's a song. But other things ended up happening around this time that changed me from being a non-believer to a believer, and also had me from being a full-time stay-at-home mom to listening to the voice of God, which told me to leave my kids with family. And soon after, our family offered to watch the kids. So I was like, okay, cool. But it ended up being I also ended up becoming homeless. Spirit told me to leave my home and go see the world. Now, before it said that, I was being told the end was coming. The end was coming. The humans fucked things up. And God wanted me to remember who I was. And he kept calling me Sophia. Which I was like, who? What are you talking about? My name's Jessica. You got the wrong chick. Birth again. I got my tubes tied, like it all seemed very ludicrous to me. And I mean, even to this day, looking back, it's like, God, this shit is too weird. Like, it had to happen to me. Nobody believes me about shit anyways. And of course, this stuff has to happen to me. So when I do tell people, I look even more freaking nuts, right? But, yeah, yeah, and I tried to get my kids back, but God took my car away as I was trying. Another long story, but the whole drive out to pick up the kids, all I heard was I didn't say it was time yet, and next thing I knew, I don't have a car, and I ended up in 3 different hospitals before I ended up at my mom's door knocking to get the kids, and she lied and said she wasn't home, even though she was. So I ended up getting a ride back to Houston from someone named Doug, and 7 years later, when all was said and done and I got to return back to my family, I got a ride home from a man named Doug. Different guy. But hey, whatever. Symmetry works. But during my 7 years of homelessness and being separated from my family, there was this man named Darren. And I had actually been friends with him on Facebook for years before I was in the situation. He was a protester type, hippie, grown hippie man. All about, human rights, freedom of choice, natural healing remedies, if you will. And I didn't know that the property of this gentleman named Mike had brought me to. I didn't know my friend Darren was there. I met a man named Mike before I left my apartment, and he ran into me soon after I was homeless, and he was like, you don't belong out here. You don't belong at the Rock. Let me take you over here. So he took me to this property on a street called Bamwood, where a man named Brian owns the property, but other people live there. And so Mike had a friend there, and I stayed with his friend for a little bit until one day when I was leaving with my friend Mike to go to Walmart or something, I saw my friend Darren, and I was like, wait, I know that guy. I swear I know that guy from Facebook. And I ended up looking it up, and yeah, it was him. And this man looked out for me the whole time I was separated from my family, y'all. The whole time. There were times I left because I didn't want to be a burden. I mean, he lived in a one room trailer. It was very small. He wasn't rich. He wasn't a Christian either. He was very much a witch, a witch who worshipped a goddess. He said he used to be Christian and he didn't subscribe to that anymore. He saw that it was very corrupt. And that was his opinion. Um, but yeah, so he passed away. He passed away last February. And this man was one of the best men I have ever met in my life. He wasn't perfect, but damn, this man had a heart like you wouldn't believe. I could up and walk out in the middle of the night, feeling in my feelings, disappear for 2 months in my feelings, and show up on his doorstep like a raggedy old drowned rat. And this man would always take me in, always warm me up, dry me up, feed me, and take care of me. Sometimes I would sleep on his couch for weeks at a time because I had nowhere to go and I was just so exhausted from being on the streets, being depressed. But Darren always looked out for me. Always. And he always wanted to see me get back on my feet. And it breaks my heart. He never will. Because literally, I quit my job. I came back home to my family. Me and Darren's buddy Doug dropped me off. And I couldn't get back to doing psychic readings right away, y'all. I had PTSD. I was almost like nonverbal completely. It took me a while to be able to like care about people the same, anywhere the same. Because I was so lost in my own sadness, right? My own loss, my own separation of kids, my own not understanding why God. Yes, God showed me so many awesome things, y'all, so many, but He also broke my heart in ways I never thought He would. But yeah, in beginning of February, I quit my job at Taco Bell, and I ended up taking a job at Taco Bell, one of my first jobs as a child. I returned to, thinking, it'd be a good solid bet. It would help me get my verbal skills back a little, learn how to work with people on, not in the 5D world, but in the 3D. And it did work, it served its purpose, but the management that I found myself working under was for shit. It was dishonest, deceitful, and everything wrong in the world. So I had to quit. I had to quit and take another leap of faith, I was doing readings over Christmas for myself, and they were doing better, than they were when I tried before. And I was like, okay, I think I can do it again. So I quit the job. And Darren didn't know that much. He got to know I quit the job, and I was getting ready to go back to doing readings. But he died. I swear to God, he died like 2 days before I actually started doing readings again. And here it's Monday morning. It's 1:00 in the afternoon now, and our heat's not working, and I haven't had very many calls. I got YouTube on 24/7, so my laptop stays running. And if I get a call from a customer on a bit line where I'm on call, I'll hear it and I can run over here and try to take care of this person. Try to make a little bit of money. Try to put some food in the fridge. Try not to be homeless in a few months because we got to move out here soon. But yeah, I'm doing all this, but there's nothing going on, so I'm freezing. I go lay down in bed and take a nap. And I freaking wake up after I got to see Darren, y'all. And it was so weird. I mean, it was good, but it was weird because in the dream, like, I was still here. It starts off with me still here. And I end up talking to him on the phone. And I'm like, oh my God, I just to go see Darren. So I remember getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to hurry. And the next thing I know, I'm there. And I'm back in Houston in his old trailer. And we're sitting, where his couch used to be. He ended up tearing the couch out and put a big TV entertainment center in there. After one of the times I broke his heart and left him. He was going to try to make sure I don't come back, but that didn't work. But in the dream, we were just cuddling, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm here. And I realized I didn't know how I was going to get home. And I felt so bad because I didn't want to, burden him ever again. And he just, when I was like, oh no, I forgot how I'm gonna get home, he had a reaction like, oh. But it wasn't him reacting that, crap, how are you gonna get home, or how could you do this to me? He was reacting because he wanted me to stay. Yeah. He wanted me to stay, and he specifically said, stay till the morning, because he took too much. He was explaining that he took some medicine, and he forgot he took it, and he took another one, and he caught himself like 5 minutes later taking too much. And he was saying he felt okay, but he still, wanted to make sure he'd be okay. And I just said, hey, I just heard my best friend was still alive. So I'm here, buddy. And then I woke up. It just sucks. I wish I could have stayed there longer. I miss my buddy. Best dude ever.